Hello, everyone. Thanks once again for coming out here today. We really do appreciate you. Thank you for your continuous massive and huge support to this channel. You guys are simply the best, my people. Yes, we're back again with more updates on the Edo governorship election. We all know that in the situation, the circumstances surrounding this election, the COVID-19 pandemic that is still around the corner, a lot of suggestions have come up to INEC that it should shift the Edo and Ondo governorship election. Yes, my people, INEC have spoken regarding shifting the election. It's quite interesting to note what they've got to say about Edo and Ondo elections. We'll get all of the details in a moment, guys. But before we do, please, if you haven't given us a thumbs up, do give us a thumbs up, my people. Hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit on the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to us. Yes, guys, let's get straight into the news and get all of the details. INEC shifting Edo and Ondo elections, recipe for constitutional crisis. Amidst call for a shift in the date of the election for Edo and Ondo states governorship elections due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) yesterday insisted that to shift the two elections would be an open invitation to a constitutional crisis. Rather, the commission said it will ensure strict observations of the COVID-19 guidelines and protocols, as there would be no voting without face masks. The commission said it will be using August 8, 2020, Nasarawa State House of Assembly election to perfect the conditions for the two governorship elections in Edo State and Ondo State scheduled for September 19th and October respectively. INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman of Voters Education and Information, Mr. Festus Okoye, said in an interview with newsmen yesterday that any attempt to move the two governorship elections outside the stipulated dates will amount to inviting a constitutional crisis. Okoye, who described the two states' election as the Rock of Gibraltar, said it would be illegally difficult to shift the polls. He said the two elections were guaranteed by Sections 178 of 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, stating that the two elections must be conducted between 150 and 30 days to the end of the tenure of the sitting governors. The provisions of these two elections are cast in stones and are therefore unmovable. These elections will have to go on as planned. According to him, constitutionally, there are only two instances that elections can be shifted, but both instances do not apply in the Edo and Ondo states. For instance, he said, elections can be moved forward if, in line with Section 180 of the 1999 Constitution, Nigeria is invaded or in a state of war. He added that an election can be shifted as stated in Section 305 of the same Constitution, where there is a state of emergency, stating that in both cases they are out of control of the Commission. He explained that as stated in Section 178 of 2 of the Constitution, these days are unmovable and like the Rock of Gibraltar. Okoye said INEC was strictly following the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 guidelines and protocols, adding that in line with security guidelines for elections during the pandemic, there shall be a strict observation of no face masks, no voting procedures. He said the Commission has mapped out plans to test run its preparedness for two governorship elections with the Nasarawa State House of Assembly election on August 8. This is going to be a stimulus election to the Edo and Ondo state governorship elections. Everything about election, from media, accreditation, security, voters, and all that concerns the election will be a trial, test run for what we do in the two governorship elections, he stated. He said that the Commission will deploy members of the National Youth Service (NYSC) as ad hoc staff to the two elections, while the assistant presiding officers 1, 2, and 3 would also come from students of tertiary institution. Basically, the NYC would provide the bulk of the ad hoc staff, he he said, adding that there is already a database of the NYC in both states. On the voting processes and procedures during the elections, Okoye said there will be level of queues consisting of the inner queue and outer queue, and that the voters must wear their face masks. He reiterated that the collation centers must usually witness a huge crowd, that there will be only an agent of political parties, and expressed optimism that there will be full compliance. For the Edo governorship election, there will be 15 political parties on the ballot paper, although only 14 political parties fielded candidates in line with the guidelines. On Ondo State, Okoye said 17 political parties will participate in the governorship election. Okoye said, all things being equal, the Anambra State governorship election in 2021 might be conducted electronically. According to him, almost all processes of the Edo and Ondo State governorship election were conducted electronically, starting from nomination of candidates, media accreditation, and meeting with security and civil society groups. He advised political parties to conduct issue-based campaigns, stressing that election is not war. Yes, my people, so we've heard it from INEC. There is no plans of moving this election. So like we said, with all of the happenings and this COVID-19 and everything surrounding both election with the crisis in the All Progressive Congress in Ondo State chapter, and even in Edo State that started and led to the defection of the incumbent governor, Godwin Obaseki. So a lot of suggestions have been put forward before INEC that they should move both elections. They should shift the date. And from INEC's point of view, they've looked at it that shifting this election would be constitutional crisis. It will be an avenue for another form of constitutional crisis, and it's not something that will benefit the state. And to him, he stated that they are actually following the constitution regarding elections, that a sitting governor has got about 150 to 30 days to the end of his tenure, and between that time an election must be conducted for a replacement. And also that is one of them. The other thing they've looked at, that it's not like they didn't look at the suggestion that was brought before them that they should move the election. They did look at it, and they've cited that as one reason why they cannot move the election. The other one was is only in the event of a serious emergency, a state of war, of serious crisis in the country. That is when they can actually call off the election. But right now we can see it's just, we know COVID-19 is something we're dealing with, but it's not a situation where our country is being invaded or is in a state of war, or an emergency has been called. A state of emergency has been called in the nation. So with all of that, INEC have stated that however, they are still going to go ahead with the election. They would ensure that no fake masks, no voting. So they've put a lot of things in place, to be quite honest, and they are saying that they will do all they can. That even from the parties fielding their candidate, they did most of those parts electronically, but just that they are not too prepared to really carry out this one electronically. So they are still going to do it in person, but going to be following all of the guidelines by NCDC and the Presidential Task Force. But come 2021, the other elections that are due, they are planning on how it can be done electronically. I mean, that is a good move, and that's quite commendable. So my people, all of the speculations about INEC moving the Edo or Ondo governorship election, they've stated their conclusion that they are not moving it. The elections are going to hold come September and October, respectively. So guys, leave your take, leave your comment. Let's know what you think, if you're okay with all INEC has stated regarding these two elections that are due to hold in the country. I want to say a big thank you once again, my people. Thanks for your support. Thanks for staying tuned to this channel. We really do appreciate you. And please, guys, if you haven't given us a thumbs up yet, do give us a thumbs up. Hit on the like button. And don't forget to subscribe as well. My people, subscribe. Hit on the subscribe button, and we really appreciate it. I want to say thank you once again. Till I come your way again with more updates. It's bye for now, and God bless.